So, today's the big day. Have you thought about what you want?
I want a cat.
Oh, I don't think our building takes pets.
You own the building.
Okay, first piece for the birthday girl.
And save some for Daddy.
Just put it in the freezer next to last year's slice. What?
Tom Brand excelled at business,
The Firebrand Tower will be the tallest building in North America.
but failed at what mattered most.
Hi, Tom.
Yes, I know. I'm late.
You gotta be here, and you have to bring an exceptional gift.
Hello?
Now, a mysterious man
You look familiar.
I'm Tom Brand. I own Firebrand.
Yes, I use newspaper in the poopy boxes, and I see your face all the time.
is about to change everything.
Can I just pick out a cat and then I'll be on my way?
He likes you.
Yeah, keep the change.
Okay, Cass,
I'm sorry?
let's do this. So, what you doing in there?
Wait a minute. I'm a cat!
How do I get out of this?
You haven't been there for your family.
When is Daddy gonna come home?
As soon as he finishes work.
You have 1 week to reconnect with them, or you're gonna be stuck inside that cat for the rest of your life.
But I hate cats.
That's what makes this so perfect.
Mr. Fuzzypants? Look.
Seriously? Who needs a litter box?
Hey!
It's not enough to say you love someone. You have to show it.
You're the best gift I ever got.
Just drown me.
Sometimes I feel like my dad's looking out for me through the cat.
I should have been a better dad.
Do they make MRIs for cats?
Mean CAT scans?
Smile for Instagram.
Hey! No! Back off!
Hey! You!
Nailed it.
That cat is so weird.
Gotta show them I'm human.
Good morning. Ooh, that was loud.
Good morning.
Cheryl, let's just get right to the toughest question
Okay.
first.
Yes.
How did the cat do that, the pull-up?
He's a very strong cat. Well, as you can probably imagine, some of the cats are CGI'd.
No.
I know. And then some of them are real. I mean, there were lots of cats on the set. There were a few cats that look like this. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble.
How do you get, as a cat owner, how do you get a cat to do anything you want? Is that even possible?
Well, from my own experience with cats, I thought it was impossible to get a cat to do anything. But then on the set of 9 Lives, there were some very talented cats and cat trainers, and the cat trainers would be right off camera with these little clickers. So they would click, and then the cat would look, and then there were laser pointers. So they would get the cat to move. So the cat, it was very complicated. There was a lot going on during those takes.
Wow. No wonder people use dogs in movies.
Yeah, I see why now, yeah.
How did you come to do this? And by the way, I love seeing you play a raunchy bad girl
Thank you.
after you being the voice of reason on 8
Yes.
seasons of Curb.
Yes. Well, I worked with Barry Sonnenfeld, who directed this film. You know, he directed RV, so we worked together on that, and we've stayed friends through the years. And he just emailed me and said, "I'm about to offer you a part that you need to take." I said, "Okay." So that's how I came about with this movie. And then I liked playing a drunk lady.
Were any drinks consumed in the making of this movie?
Maybe. I'll never tell.
What happens on set stays on
Yeah.
set kind of thing?
Exactly.
What is it like working with Jennifer Garner? Because I know I would ask you about Christopher Walken, but you don't even, what a bummer that, you don't have scenes with him.
I know. Well, I had a great time working with Jennifer. We laughed a lot. Because in the film, I have 2 dogs who are really cute. The dogs are really cute. They're yappy. They're trained to be that way. And so between the dogs and the cats, and then, Jennifer and I were chasing a tennis ball. There was a lot to laugh about on the set.
So you had a table read with Kevin Spacey and Christopher Walken, and then you guys kind of went your separate ways, correct? In terms of filming.
Sadly, that is correct, yes. But that table read was interesting because I sat next to Mark Consuelos, who's also in this, and we were just sitting there sort of kicking each other under the table. Every time, we're at a table read, and Kevin Spacey turns into a cat, and Christopher Walken is a cat whisperer, and we're just kicking each other like, what's going on? It was really fun.
So what was it like sitting across from Kevin Spacey in full cat mode?
Well, I love Kevin Spacey. I love House of Cards. It's one of my favorite shows. So it was great to be there with him for that. Just, to meet him and sort of hang out with him. And then, whenever he'd meow or something, it really made me laugh.
I would just imagine that it would be very, very surreal to see a
It's
two-time
very
Oscar winner be a
surreal.
cat.
Yes, it is.
And I know that you also have a sitcom
I do.
with Jason Sudeikis.
That's right. So I'm on a new show this fall called Son of Zorn. And it's going to be on Fox after The Simpsons. And it's very, very funny. It's racy, as you can only imagine. But there's one animated character in the show, voiced by Jason Sudeikis. He's like a warrior, shirtless, barbarian type of a guy. And the rest of us are real people. It doesn't sound good, but you have to see it.
No, it actually sounds really cool.
Okay,
Just
thank
from
you.
what I've read about it.
Yeah, it's the show is really great. It's very, very funny, and it's groundbreaking in that it's something that you haven't seen on TV yet. It's it's a little complicated to do because we have to shoot the show with our actors, and then they have to go back and animate everything. So it's a little bit complicated, but we have the best writers in the business, and it's hilarious.
I assume that at this point in your career, if it's not groundbreaking or interesting, you're not going to do it.
Okay, let's say that.
So what does govern your decisions?
Well, I like to do projects that make me laugh. I also like to work with people that I admire and I respect. And, life is short. I have found that sometimes it's just not worth it to work on a project when somebody is
Unpleasant?
unpleasant, bad behavior. There are some people in life, they walk into a room and you're just like, oh no, not that guy. But fortunately for me, I've been so lucky to have worked with some of the best actors and actresses out there. So I don't know how I've been that fortunate, but I really value all of those experiences. So I want to keep,
Elevating.
Yes,
Do you like that I'm finishing all your
I
sentences?
do.
See, we could be like a comic duo from the Groundlings.
Groundlings, the Groundlings.
Of course I do. I read about you. What do you think?
What do you think? I don't do my homework?
At what point did you realize that you could be funny as professionally? You're like, right now, as I continue to finish your sentences.
Yeah, professionally. Well, I studied radio and television production in college with a minor in acting in theater. And then when I moved to Los Angeles, I was a bartender. I met one of Phil Hartman's sisters. And she said that her brother, Phil, had gotten his start at the Groundlings Theater. So I went there and I saw some of the most talented people doing improv and sketch comedy. And I immediately signed up for a class there because I felt like, oh, these are my people. Like, this is what I want to do. So at that time, did I think I'm going to be able to pay my bills by doing this? No, I don't think I thought that far ahead.
Do you remember your first day on the Groundlings? Who did you see that just blew you away? Because I mean, I know we'd say like every age is kind of the golden age of comedy, but
Right.
that really was the golden age of comedy.
Yeah. Well, that particular night, there were two people that stand out to me that I don't know if their names are going to be as recognizable as some of the other alums from the Groundlings, but Jim Wise, who does a lot of writing now, very funny. Michael McDonald was also very funny, and he does a lot of directing and writing. But during that time, I would go watch the shows, and Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry and Chris Kattan and Chris Parnell were all performing. So, and Jennifer Coolidge, I mean, I would just go and watch these guys, and it just blew me away every night.
And I have to ask you, as a bartender, what was the best drink you ever made? Like your go-to cocktail?
Well, I guess I was pretty good at sex on the beach. Good night, everybody.
Double entendre. Anyone?
Yes.
And we have to ask about Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's a 9th season. 9th season coming up. You're in it.
Am I?
I believe so.
No, I think I am in it.
Larry just called me.
Did he call you?
Yeah.
Yes, so Curb is coming back, which is very exciting. I see Larry all the time as a friend. We never really talk business, only because he won't. So I was surprised when the news broke that there was another season of Curb coming. I was actually shooting Son of Zorn, and my phone started blowing up, as you young kids say. And I realized, the news just broke that Curb is coming back. So I texted Larry and I said, am I part of this? Is this happening? And he said, yeah, if you're not too busy. So that's all I know.
So are you too busy or are you part of it?
I mean, I am really busy. But I'm going to make some time.
I know working with Larry, you guys didn't even know from season 1 to season 2 if he was going to bring the show back, right?
Yes. I mean, every season he would say, this is it. To me, he wouldn't announce it, but the first season, he said, I think we're just going to do these 10 episodes. And then I was surprised when there was a season 2. And then season 3 felt like, oh, okay, so this is a show, right? Is this a show? This is, we're doing season after season. And then every sort of season finale, it felt like this could be it. So yeah, I really never knew what was going to happen next.
What was your favorite episode?
I don't know. There were a lot. There was one episode where my parents come to town and we make a manger scene out of cookies. And this happened because in real life, when I went home, my family had made a manger scene out of cookies, and I called Larry, and people were saying, nobody eat baby Jesus, and I called Larry, and I said, if you were here, you'd eat baby Jesus, and my family would go crazy. And he said, well, then let's do a show. So we did a show where Larry, it doesn't sound good. You guys are going to be like, why is she talking about eating
I remember
Jesus?
that episode.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
But that was a really fun episode.
I have to say, my favorite one is the Survivor episode.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
By the way, that was pretty early on too, wasn't it? Yeah. But for me, probably the most exciting was when we did the Seinfeld reunion, because that was also very surreal because they had recreated this Seinfeld set. It might have actually been the Seinfeld set. So we're on a sound stage, which was unusual for Curb Your Enthusiasm because we shoot on location. So we were on a sound stage, and I'm sitting on the Seinfeld set with the cast of Seinfeld. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is sort of mind-blowing. I'm on the set of Seinfeld with the cast of Seinfeld and Larry David on a show that I'm on. It's like, whoop, my head's about to explode.
It's like when you started out with the Groundlings. Did you ever envision that this would be in your future?
No, but it's pretty amazing.
What's been the most surreal moment in your career outside of that?
Well, it was really fun to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in Hollywood. So that was very. It was a very sweet moment for me and my family. My whole family was there, and my husband, my ex-husband, and my TV husband, Larry, they were all sitting there right next to each other, so that was a little surreal, but great. And I just remember standing there thinking, wow, this is amazing.
That's actually a really good testament to who you are as a person, that all three of them showed up.
I know, it's very sweet.
Well, yeah. Your husband kind of has to show up, but...
He kind of has to. I spend a lot of time with my ex-husband and a lot of time with my ex-TV husband.
Well, your current TV husband, right? I mean,
I don't know. Are we together or... I don't know. Did the divorce go through?
You know nothing about season 9, right?
I really don't.
Did you find out the day you get on set?
Yes, that's when I find out. Well, because there's no script. So Larry doesn't write scripts with dialogue. He only writes story outlines, and he doesn't show them to anybody. So when actors come in to audition for Curb Your Enthusiasm, they are given one little strip of paper, like this wide, that will say, the waiter refuses to take the tip, or whatever the situation is. And that's all they know. They don't know what else is going on in the show. They don't know anything, and they get that little slip of paper right before they walk into audition. So nobody really knows what's going on the show except Larry and a few producers.
And the voices inside Larry's head.
Yes, they also don't know what's going on.
Is it more liberating to work that way versus with a script like 9 Lives where everything is written out and you know exactly what you're doing, you know what the scenes are?
It is. I mean, it's a really liberating way to work, and especially to do comedy, because little things happen in the moment that you couldn't write, because you know, when you're going through the day, you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know if a bee is going to fly up your dress, or
has that happened?
A girl can dream. No, that hasn't happened, but you know, it could.
It could.
And then that takes your day in a completely different direction. So it's a really fun way to work. And actors don't usually get that opportunity to work that way.
How do you communicate with Larry? Text? Come on, we all want to know. At least I want to know.
You make it sound like he's an alien. Well, yeah, I text Larry. His texts are very short, as you can imagine. He doesn't spend a lot of time texting people. Not a lot of emojis. But I just will, I like to see Larry. So I would much rather hang out with him than text him. But, I'll say, meet me at 9 o'clock on Saturday. And what's funny about Larry is, most people, if you make a plan with somebody 2 weeks in advance, you kind of check in. Okay, are we still on for Tuesday at 9? I mean, you just do it once and then show up. And that's it. You don't have to keep checking in. He's like, well, why are you talking to me? I'm going to see you on Tuesday.
See, I love that. I just think, it's rare to find real comedy geniuses working.
Yeah.
And you had the good fortune of working with one for 9 seasons.
I know. I got very...
And come on, this guy's not half bad either.
The cat?
I I actually meant the director, but
Oh, Barry Sonnenfeld. I mean, I'm
sure the cat is a comedy genius.
The cat is a laugh a minute. Barry Sonnenfeld is amazing. He is such a talented director. I mean, he did Men in Black, and he's done so many great movies. So not only does he have an eye for what would look great on the screen, but he is very gifted at special effects and comedy. So, he's very unique that way, that he can do all that together.
Do you have any insights in how they found the perfect cat to be Kevin Spacey?
No, I wish I did.
Because I'm really curious as to why that particular cat.
Well, I
was
wonder,
Kevin.
I wonder if this cat, maybe they did some sort of testing, like what kind of cat appeals to a lot of people? Because the cat is beautiful. He's got beautiful eyes. He's very fluffy.
What was your favorite moment on set?
Well, I really, personally, it's not a great story, but I love watching Barry direct. So I loved watching him set up the shots, and then we'd laugh about everything. But it was really fun working with Jennifer, and when we were shooting the scene where we were chasing the cat, and then Barry put it in slow motion. We had a fun time doing that.
What's the trick to playing drunk, believably?
To not
do the whole thing.
to not seem drunk. Because when you're drinking, so I've heard, you're always trying to conceal it. You don't want people to know that you're drunk. So you're really working hard. You really work on your
Not slurring.
together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so how did you play drunk? What was your secret?
Vodka? I'm a method actor. What do you want? I mean, listen. Why act like you're drunk? What? When you can really, don't quote me on this.
She's joking, people. And are you a cat or dog person in real life?
Well, I would have to say dog, just because I have two. I don't have any cats, but some of my family is allergic.
You got to stay loyal to your dogs. What kind do you have?
I have what do I have? I have a Gordon Setter, which is a very big dog, and a Cocker Spaniel. Aww. I know. They're very cute, these two idiots. They're crazy. They're just like, I can never wear anything white because I walk in and they just jump on me and I don't know, they roll in poop and they think they're fantastic and I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a whole thing with dogs and poop that would be a whole separate conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like catnip to them, isn't it? But for what?
A good way of
Yeah.
bringing it back.
For whatever reason, my dog always smells like dog poop. But I'm sure it's because he rolls in it. So you'll give him a bath and then he'll be like, "Yay, I'm clean," and then roll in something.
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
And now to our audience, please.
Oh.
Hey, Cheryl, how are you?
Good.
I noticed that you mentioned you worked with the same director before in RV, one of my favorite films with you, and I just wanted to know, how was it working with the late Robin Williams?
Oh, I really miss Robin. I had a great time with Robin, and he was so extraordinary because not only was he this brilliant comedian, but he was a good person. My mom would come to visit the set, and he'd make sure to get up and hug her and tell her he was happy she was there. And, she would walk around feeling like the queen of the world because she was like, Robin just said hello and knew my name. So he paid attention to people, and I miss that.
Next question, please.
Hello.
Hi.
For a show like Curb Your Enthusiasm, where it's apparently not at all scripted, how does doing multiple takes work?
That's a good question. So because it's improvised, there are always at least two cameras going. So if we were doing a scene, there would be a camera on me and a camera on her, so it's catching our dialogue. Because no two takes are the same. So it makes it tough for the sound person. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge of doing an improvised show. You can't talk over each other because they can't edit it together. I mean, you can a little bit, but not too much, because that's what's really hard about it. But yeah, there's always at least 2 cameras going.
And last question, please.
Hi, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
I was wondering, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting to take improv classes?
It's a good question. You have to be okay with feeling silly. And you have to learn to be okay with not knowing what's going to happen next. And I think once you really feel it in your heart, like, even if we have nothing to say on this stage and not one funny thing happens and not one interesting thing happens, life will go on. You know, you're going to go home and pet your dog. Because when you're on stage and you're doing improv in front of people, you know, I mean, it's scary. And you feel like, oh my gosh, if this isn't great, it's the end of the world. So once you can let go of that feeling and just have fun and make your scene partner look good, you'll start to relax and have a good time with it.
And I have a follow-up question to that. How do you lose your self-consciousness when you're doing that?
Well, I mean, my training at the Groundlings helped me, because they just teach you, if you're doing improv and you're doing it the right way, you don't have time to worry about what people are thinking about you. You only have time to listen to what the other person says and react to it. So you start to let it go. You know, you start to not, like I said, not worry about, oh, they're going to think I'm stupid, or whatever keeps people, you know, holds them back from responding in a true way. You have to let that go. But yeah, and then you
always wondered about that.
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, it's part of being an actor too. You know, you feel like, oh my God, people are watching you, because people are watching you. But once you can let it go, and okay, even if I do something stupid, life will go on. These guys will hopefully still like me because they've probably done something stupid in their lifetime. So it's sort of there's a bigger picture.
Gotcha. And when can we see this?
This weekend. It opens
August
this weekend.
5th.
August 5th.
9 Lives.
That's
Thank
right
you
there
so
on
much.
the poster.